Israel has taken advantage of the fall of the Assad dictatorship to invade Syria, bombing the country over 400 times in 2 days and occupying more Syrian territory. Now, we've already talked about this, about how the Golan Heights is internationally recognized as stolen land. And now Israel is going beyond that land and creating what they call a buffer zone. But what did they do with buffer zones? They actually never give that land back. It's just more land for Israel to colonize and settle on. Illegally, by the way. So Israel has bombed Syria over 400 times in 2 days. It's important to note that there's no Hamas there, and no one has actively started attacking Israel. No one has said that they would attack Israel. This is sort of like a preemptive measure here that they're taking to just bomb every other country in the Middle East. And then occupied more Syrian land after the fall of the Assad regime. Since December 8th, the Israeli army moved even deeper into the Syrian territory, taking advantage of the fall of the Assad regime to bomb civilian infrastructure and military assets across the country, destroying Syria's air defenses. Now, some people would say, oh, they have a right to do this, like what if the new group of people that take over want to actually use these military munitions to strike Israel or other countries? The U.S. is worried about it too, right? Like, could these guys be our enemies, right? But I think the preemptive bombing of that is sort of a sign of guilt. That, that they're going to attack you, so you're, trying to destroy all their infrastructure. But they're also bombing civilian infrastructure, which speaks to the fact that they don't want anyone to live here. They just want to plow this all down so that they can take it over, just like with the Gaza Strip. So, Israel invaded the UN buffer zone separating Syria from the Israel-occupied Golan Heights. That violated the 1974 disengagement agreement between the two countries, even though Israel bombed Syria for years after the deal was signed. So once again, Israel just seems to never have to obey any of these deals that have been put together. Israel has now taken over Mount Hermon, the highest mountain in Syria. The location puts Damascus in range of Israeli artillery and gives the Israeli military an observation point into more areas in Lebanon. Honestly, this would only make sense if you were in a war battling both Lebanon and Syria, but you're not. You're just trying to kill everyone that disagrees with you and make sure that no one can resist you so that you can be the dominant force in the region. There's nothing right about what's being done here. The U.S. says the Israeli military must eventually leave Syria, but gave no deadline for the withdrawal. So now we know how this goes, right? Because anytime the U.S. suggests, oh, we'd like for you to get 300 trucks of aid into Gaza. Oh, you only got 30 in a month? Oh, well, I guess you tried. Yeah, no consequences, by the way. Forget about those. That's where we're at on this.